Hello, welcome to my presentation. I'm Zainab and I'm going to present you about science and technology in the 19th century, 1820 to 1894. Let's start with science became professional. During the 18th century, scientists who were not wealthy had to depend largely on patrons. There were no institutions that supported scientists, although there were few technical teaching jobs and a little money could be made from books. So science wasn't supported during the 18th century. But the situation changed during the 19th century as the occupation of scientists became a paid profession. So it became more professional. People can make it as their job, and they can be financially supported, and money can be earned from it. National differences. France was leading the scientific country during the first decades of the 19th century, but this changed because Germany, however, moved into the lead as the century progressed. While the French universities began to suffer from the French bureaucracy, teaching at German universities became more liberalized. In Scotland, the situation was somewhat different. The University of Edinburgh was not connected to the church. Consequently, it was free to develop a medical school that became central to scientific enterprise throughout Great Britain. So without the impact of the church, the Scotland was became central to the scientific enterprise. In the United States, there were mostly migrants, relatively little attention was given to science. The philosophical basis of 19th century science. Matter and force, and later, matter and motion were viewed as the ultimate explanation of reality. In Cambridge in 1883, William Whewell suggested the British Association for the Advancement of Science that their members be called scientists, a term analogous to the word artist for those who practiced arts. So, science and art became more separated files. Science and the public. Science was much more generally known than in previous periods, but but for the first time it was opposed by segments of the public, especially those who had certain religious beliefs. So people were Muslims, Christians, Jews. Although the world was nearly 6,000 years old, but it's proven that the old was much older than that. The 19th century saw general public criticism of some scientific ideas, along with newspaper, cartoons, and well-attended public meetings against specific theories. But what most shocked them, the humans' immediate ancestors were monkeys, was particularly the subject for ridicule. Science and technology. The relationship between scientific education and technological practice became fully understood during the 19th century. Technical universities played an essential role in the rapid expansion of industry. Major advances in this time, anthropology, as the time passed, and Darwin's ideas gained influence, the idea of an ancestor to human beings took hold. So evolution theory became more reasonable to so many people. In archaeology, interest in archaeology spread in the second half of the 18th century by the excavation of Pompeii, increased after Napoleon's expedition to Egypt in 1798. Astronomy, the discovery that light can be recorded by chemicals in photographs, and the other was that light from different hot gases is different. Biology, Darwin and Wallace presented the theory of evolution to the world in 1858, and the chemical industry arose during this century. Chemistry, writing themselves of phlogiston discovering elements and accepting the atom was the major advance in this period. Communication became easier, telegram across oceans and continents, and commerce over telephone became for charters. Computers forced regular production of mechanical calculator is an advance. Construction. Domestic, ecclesiastical, and governmental buildings were built, but with little advance in technique. Our science geology became a major science. Energy, the golden age of steam engine, can be said for this. Food and agriculture, new agricultural machines, fertilizers, and pesticides is the advance. Materials, the chemical industry arose during this century. Mathematics, the analytical society began a trend toward reviving mathematics. So many people didn't know about mathematics, but it started to gain importance. Medicine and health, the discovery of anesthetic and articulation of the germ theory of disease. Physics, the science of heat or thermodynamics. Interest and magnetism. It was not until Peter von Meseberg received the first powerful electric shock in 1745 that the subject gained attention. It wasn't that much important in the 18th century. The history of science is replete with stories of someone finding something by luck or accident. What is often looked at in these tales is that the scientist in question had already been looking for something like the phenomenon he or she accidentally discovered. So this is what grabbed my attention most. People always say it was because of the luck or accident, but they were studying in this file, so it doesn't surprise anyone. The nature of heat. The German physician Julius Robert Mayer was one of the first to relate heat directly to mechanical work, writing of his discovery in 1842. That heat and mechanical work are both forms of energy was a very important discovery. It became the basis of a new science that gained quickly in importance during the 19th century. And understanding fossils. Darwin's theory of evolution, which became known a few years later, finally gave the philosophical basis for fossils that we still use for today. Thanks for listening. I hope I have been clear. It's the end of my presentation.